Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the courtroom. We have our two fine contestants here, fine debaters right here. The one and only Postmaster Murphy and the new reigning champion of the world, Kevin
World.
the O'Brien. His nickname is the. Look at that. The new McGregor, let's be real. R.I.P. McGregor. Guy's a coward, right? And,
Oh, you
you.
leave my Irish boy
Hey,
alone.
man. Hey, man. Anywho, speaking of coward, no, I'm just kidding. I think a big discussion that we kind of overview, or we don't really discuss about, is first off the Bucks. We never talk about the Bucks, how great of a season they've had. Even the past 2 years, I'm very shocked that we never talked about them that much. Maybe because they're just too good, and we hope that they win their championship. With that being said, guys, do we think that the Bucks are in a win now situation in order for Giannis to stay in Milwaukee? Um, let's see. Let's start with Matt first. I think he seems like he's scratching his chin right now. I think it's a very good argument. Matt, what do you think?
I scratch my chin because there's facial hair there. There's no other reason for it. It's an addiction. It's a really bad habit. I do not recommend it. I need a bigger beard so I can just like go like this.
James Harden.
Look, I think the problem is that Giannis like kind of makes that team essentially the way that it is right now, right? The team is extremely good and Giannis kind of just puts them together. But I don't necessarily think that they have to win the title in order for Giannis to stay. And I think that has to do with his mentality. I think Giannis is probably one of the last people who has kind of a Kobean, if you will, mentality, making it sound super smart. He has this drive that makes him want to be better. It makes him want his team to be better. And you saw that in the All-Star game. You saw that like how he communicated with other players that weren't on the Bucks. He has a huge dedication to his own team. I mean, he picked fucking who Sam, who was the person that Giannis decided to pick out of all the other options that he could have when he was picking the All Stars?
His boy, Chris Middleton.
Yeah, he picked Chris Middleton over a plethora of other better options. I think Giannis obviously wants to win a title. He is very much so that kind of player that just he has the winning mentality, he has the drive to do it, and he has the talent to do it. But there's a lot of things that can go on this Bucks roster where you don't necessarily need to, where you could make it better by maybe dumping a few of these players. You know, like I mean, Chris Milton, he's probably going to be staying. Eric Bledsoe probably going to be staying. But other than that, I'm looking at this roster. And if I really wanted to, I could just dump half of these guys for like one decent player. like it just doesn't, it doesn't make sense. I would do whatever I can to keep Giannis, and winning a title would be great for him, but I don't think it's necessary. I think he loves this team enough that he would play with this team for a lot longer than maybe desired by any other player like LeBron James or something.
Gotcha. Okay, no, that's a good point. I guess my counter argument is this guy's contract will be, over in 2021. Obviously, he's going to get the potential max deal. He's obviously going to win. Maybe not obvious, but we all believe that he's going to win a second in back-to-back MVP.
Sure.
What will derail him from going to a bigger market now? Just having such, just being more famous now.
I think the biggest thing that'll derail him, so like him getting picked up by another market, might either be his salary in general, because I don't know what other team can pick that shit up without dropping maybe like 3/4 of their team, like if he's an MVP again, he's going to get his money. And I actually think that the biggest thing that could derail him would be not necessarily the money that he makes, but possibly just losing consistently and being the only player to do anything. I think the biggest reason why Giannis wants to continue to play with this team is their record, right? So, like, I mean, we saw with LeBron James and the Cavs, like, he had to do everything in his power to get them to the playoffs. This team is not nearly as bad as that Cavs team, right? You know, Eric Bledsoe, he wasn't doing that hot this year in the start of the year, but he's still a really good player. Same thing with Chris Middleton. Chris Middleton was a fucking all-star, you know? Like, it's not a bad team. These players know how to work with each other. I mean, Brook Lopez, he's not the worst player on the team. He can still shoot threes if he wants to. You know, they have versatility. I'm not saying that he's the third best player on the team or even the fourth best player on the team, but it could be a lot worse. It could be much worse than that Cavs team. And the only thing that I could see the reason for Giannis wanting to leave would be their normal record. If they're consistently losing, I don't think he wants to be on this team for much longer.
Gotcha. No, that's definitely a good point. I'm guessing that there is an opposition to this, Mr. O'Brien.
I mean, you're wrong.
End of our
debates.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I think at the end of the day, like we've established, Giannis wants to win championships, right? Let's say they win the title this year. Giannis, what? The Bucks would have to offer him the supermax to stay once his contract is up. Like he wouldn't take anything less from anywhere. Like he doesn't deserve anything less. He shouldn't take anything less.
Yeah.
Where does that leave the Bucks in terms of money? Pretty shit. Chris Middleton already has a pretty expensive deal for what he is. He's good. Don't get me wrong. I love him.
He's an all-star.
He's an all-star. He's good. But is he worth the money he has coming to him right now? I don't know. Same with Eric Bledsoe. Not as expensive, but still, is he worth the money he has? I don't know. And if you add Giannis's supermax contract into that, the Bucks have nothing to add additionally. So there is they would just keep this team consistent throughout or moving forward entirely. And that is going to turn stale really quick. Teams are going to find out how to beat Giannis and how to beat Chris Middleton and how to beat Bledsoe really quickly. I think this season we're seeing it. Teams weren't expecting the Bucks to be this good and this consistent. And so they're kind of thrown off by just surprise. But I think next year coming back, every team is going to have a strategy to go at the Bucks and attack this specific roster. And if you can't add any more valuable team members to your team because you don't have any cap space, that's not going to help. You're going to be like I don't know. I was going to say, nah. I don't know. I just feel like that's a really easy thing to counter, especially in today's NBA. It's not like they shoot threes a lot. Like Chris Middleton, yeah, he can shoot threes, but like Giannis and Bledsoe and most of the team don't shoot threes. So again, you just have to stop Giannis at all, which it's not an easy task to do, but that's a task that most teams can come up with a plan to at least minimize.
Gotcha. Okay. So I guess I got a two-part question. Right. Let's say Giannis does leave, regardless of what happens, maybe. Let's just say he wants to go win the title now. Which market would it be, first off? And do you think Giannis is going for marketability now, or is it just more for ring chasing? And ring chasing in the sense, obviously, with playing a role. Does he want to keep winning title, or is it just, let's go get all the money possible, let's be in every ad? What do you think?
I don't think Giannis has ever been after the money. I think he, like Matt said even, I think he has that Kobe mentality. He's like, win, win, win. Let's get a title. Let's get a title. I want to bring this Milwaukee team to greatness. I want to bring a title to Milwaukee. Let's do it. All right, they do it this year. Cool. Giannis moves on. Giannis is done. He did what he came out to do. He's moving on. Where's all the winning teams? West Coast, baby. Let's go. Let's get it.
Oh, that's an interesting point. I like to say that the only team that could probably do it is a very trash team, right? To really attract them, and AKA that would probably be the Knicks, right? Yes, they got marketability, but they don't really have anything, right? They just have a lot of racist owners. Not a head coach. Hopefully not Tom Thibodeau. But I'll allow you guys to each give a 30-second rebuttal if you guys have any more thoughts. So I'll start with Matt again. You are ready to go, sir.
So just to counter the whole point, first off, I can name maybe 4 other players that can shoot threes on this team, Kevin. Not to mention, we keep talking about other teams trying to get Giannis. What about Giannis trying to get other players? I mean, I don't know about you guys, but if you want to play with a player who wants to win and you have a winning mentality too, I would probably take a pay cut to play with Giannis. And if I was the head coach or the GM, I'd probably cut some people, even that Middleton contract, just to be able to play with Giannis.
Okay, GM GM Murphy here, cut out for blood right now, cutting players. Kevin, you have the floor.
I think as my final argument, winning a title isn't gonna keep Giannis in Milwaukee. You know what is gonna keep Giannis in Milwaukee? If he can get the Milwaukee team to get his brothers on this team. If he can play with his brothers, he's going to stay there. He doesn't care what else to do. He can win with his brothers all day. The Antetokounmpo brothers, dude, easy, GG, that's it. That's what it's going to take, not winning a finals.
Okay, very interesting points. Very good point from both ends. You heard it here, folks. Please cast your vote on Instagram. We're surprisingly getting more votes from people that don't even subscribe to us. Subscribe to us. We put up quality content. At least I put up quality content. Kevin, you're a little slacky. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Mr. Murphy's phenomenal. All right, even props, but there's no bias in this argument.
Stop it, you.
So please cast your vote on our Instagram page and also on this YouTube channel. I have a little link pop up. Please cast and tell us who is the real winner in this debate. I'll shoot it over back to Matt.
So essentially, our podcast is the best one around there. So just saying. Yeah, guys, you can follow us on YouTube, and that's where all of our videos are going to be, obviously. You could see us on little clips, maybe in Instagram, like on some of our, I don't even know what the hell they're called, but God, I'm so old. Anyway, you can follow us on Instagram. You can follow us on Twitter at the Deep 3 Pod. If you have any questions, you can email us. Same exact thing at the Deep 3 Pod at gmail.com. We're sponsored by a few people. We're sponsored by FNX. If you guys want to get some sweet new gear, FNX has what you want. They've got some fantastic proteins. They got some great, pre-workouts. And they're constantly revamping their website. And I think even now, if you pay a certain amount of money, you can actually get free shipping on products that you get from them. So, hey, man, I don't know about you guys, but shipping can be kind of a bitch and a half for things. So, we're still kind of in quarantine, you just buy as much as you want. And then, hey, no shipping costs. You can use our code. It's going to be on our Instagram page. It's going to be in our bio, and you'll be able to get 15% off. That's a pretty damn good deal. I don't know about you guys, just saying. Yeah. So thank you guys so much for listening to the show. We appreciate you all. Peace out.
Dang.